Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Telltale Game Channel. I'm AJ Gels. Guys, it is time once more for the weekly show. This is take 2 of this intro. I don't know, I just did the first one, was not feeling into it. I'm gonna warn you guys that I'm not gonna say I'm not feeling super hot. I don't know, it's just I'm feeling a little off energy today. Off of my usual energy today. You're already hearing a little bit of it. So this might be a little weird. This might be a little low key, except in this first story. This is the Telltale Games summer of 2017 update. This, it's Comic-Con week right now. I'm not a massive Comic-Con guy just because I'm not a big comic book fan. I mean, I like comics, but I'm not. How to put this? I like that comics are there and that people are into comics. I am not personally into comic books. I do not read comic books. I prefer video games. But, Comic-Con, there's always the few video game announcements. One being our, like I said, the Telltale Games 2017 update. I'm very excited about one thing that did get announced. I talked about this a little in a Mass Effect video I did very recently. And I almost cried, and I might start weeping openly when we get to that part in this video, and that is The Wolf Among Us Season 2 has been confirmed for 2018. I know that's horribly sad, but finally we are getting The Wolf Among Us Season 2. I can't wait. Onto this video as a whole, I think they announced 3 games here. We get a look at, and I'm gonna ruin them here. I'm the second season of Telltale's Batman, which, from what I'm seeing, is coming out this year. Which is weird that you choose to do the second season of Batman before season 2 of The Wolf Among Us, because The Wolf Among Us, we've been waiting 3 years for that sequel. I'm sorry. I know. I'm not that incensed. I'm playing it up a little bit, but I am serious. I am so excited for The Wolf Among Us. I love Bigby Wolf. It is my favorite Telltale game. I love the characters, the world, the art style, everything about The Wolf Among Us. I absolutely loved. I played it here on the channel. You can go check out that Let's Play, and I cannot wait for season 2. But the second season of Batman, I really dug the first season. I think the pacing got a little weird there near the end, but even then, I still thought the Batman series was really fun. And the other thing, the thing that's in between Batman and The Wolf Among Us Season 2 is we are actually going to be getting the final season of Telltale's The Walking Dead. But I'll let them actually talk about that, and we're going to hop right in to this video.
Hi, my name is Caroline Liddick.
I'm Ryan Weller.
And we're here from Telltale Games, and fans have been wondering what's next for us here.
Just a little bit. They've been asking a few things.
Yeah, so I think we have some updates for the rest of 2017 into 2018, right?
We do, and I am so friggin' excited, especially with what we're doing here at Comic-Con.
Yeah, let's just roll right into the first one.
Let's just get to it.
Yeah.
I told you I'd see you again, didn't I? You and me, we're 2 threads in the same stitch. You see, I met some inspiring people out here. Made some new friends.
All right, right before, because they're actually going to talk about these. We're not just getting trailers, and I like that. Obviously, the Riddler. We're seeing chunks there, but that voiceover there, I think we're really gonna see the Joker make an appearance in this game, a lot heavier than we did in the first one, which is great because I really liked the way they did the Joker in the first one. I'm gonna be very interested to see how he plays into this one. Yeah. Sorry for that little interruption.
We're going to have so much fun.
Enemy Within, that's what this season is going to be called. Oh, August 8th. Jeez, man, that is damn soon.
With Season 1, we had the challenge of finding out how far we could take Batman and bend it before it breaks. We found out that you could bend it pretty far.
The thing that's a lot different for us is that we do a lot of gameplay as Bruce Wayne, which most games are very focused on Batman. In our game, you play both as Bruce and as Batman, so both sides of the identity.
Season 1 was a story about you as Bruce Wayne, seeing everything around you kind of understood to make you up kind of all fall apart. The whole Batman mythos is all about Bruce Wayne having his parents sacrifice themselves for him at a young age. And our story is about Bruce finding out that his father was actually corrupt.
His family wasn't what he thought it was. He's finding out that his company could be taken away from him. The people he cares most about are in danger.
His heroes have now really become the people that he now fights. There's a great quote by Harryhausen: "The best monster is one you can imagine in repose." In season 1, we got a chance to set up some of the villains that people are the most familiar with. But in The Enemy Within, we get to see those villains, those monsters in repose.
We're allowing the player to explore a philosophy of a means to an end. Like, how far are they willing to go? What parts of themselves are they willing to compromise to get the job done?
Bruce is going to have to realize that the only way to take down some of these villains is to get closer to them.
I think as we've seen in the teaser trailer, the biggest new threat is the appearance of the Riddler.
Obviously, John Doe makes an appearance.
We talk about John Doe internally as the proto-Joker.
Obviously, Telltale games are all about choices. They're all about talking, and then every time you talk to John Doe, you should be wondering, is he listening to what I'm saying? He very well might be.
The thing that I've always loved about Telltale games is there's a partnership between myself and the game, to where I am helping to create my own narrative. The stakes have never been higher than it does with a Batman game, because now I'm creating my own Batman. The sandbox goes from here to here.
If you played season 1 and you enjoyed getting to know some of the Batman villains who were a little bit different than you saw in canon, being able to form close relationships with them, befriend them, become their mortal enemies, you are going to have an amazing time in The Enemy Within.
Woo-hoo! I'm sorry, I love that right there, that part right there. I which is to know, I've skimmed through this video. I haven't seen this. That was an honest woohoo. I really like that. I love Batman villains. I think he's got a lot of some of the coolest, which I think the Joker being one of them. I think he is so fascinating as a character. The kind of duality between Batman and the Joker, the fact that one's not really complete without the other. And I think the Christopher Nolan movies, I think the Dark Knight trilogy, I think you saw that, especially in the second one, that there's really there's kind of a yin and yang between Batman and the Joker that I really think is so fascinating. Is this Batman can never defeat the Joker because Batman's kind of like the ultimate good and Joker's the ultimate evil. You know, it's the Batman who wants to save all these people and wants to stop the Joker can't actually stop the Joker without breaking like that one rule, that and if he breaks that one rule, the Joker wins because he got Batman to break that rule, and that rule being killing him. So it's such a neat duality. And I know this is an original take on the Batman kind of mythos and the Batman connection to the Joker, but I really love that, and I love that driving force between them. And I love Riddler. Riddler is probably one of my favorites, just because I love nutty serial killers who are these. I'm very open about this. I love serial killer cases and all this. You know, the mentality and the psychology behind them. I love serial killer thought and all that. It's so fascinating to me. I know it's weird. Oh, you love serial killers, but no, I find it absolutely I like it from a mental exercise. Like, I like learning about them and the methods and the mentality that goes behind everything. I think that's so fascinating. So right there, I mean, this idea that we're actually going to really get close to these Batman villains. Some of these people are complete and utter psychopaths, and I can't wait to see that. I think it's going to be so much fun. I hope we get to see Selena Kyle return as Catwoman. I really kind of like founding that relationship between Bruce Wayne and Selena. That was really fun. I'm very excited for this. I loved the first season of Batman. Felt like there was something else to say. It was something that Troy Baker was getting in there and talking about, while I was trying to ignore the fact that he was wearing that stupid fucking hat. but it was something that he was saying. It just kind of widens the sandbox. This whole, and I think people kind of slam on Telltale for this a lot. The fact that really there's not gameplay here. It's very story. It's almost entirely story driven. There's in what little gameplay there is. It's so minuscule and it's not that deep. It's like anyone can play. But that's kind of what I like about Telltale games. I kind of like this massive connection to these characters and to these to the world around me. Like I actually really give a shit what's happening. Which I think is very hard for a game, but I think Telltale really does draw you in with this. And you're probably going to hear me say this through all three of these games. I can't freaking wait. And that's apparently August 8th, the first episode of Batman: The Enemy Within. You'll find it here on this channel. Real quick, I'm gonna break out of Telltale. Actually, gonna make an announcement because I totally forgot about this when I started this video. Later today, I am planning on putting up some gameplay. I've seen other channels do this. I mean, granted, they're bigger channels, and they did the early access to this beta. But the Destiny 2 open beta is available right now. I'm probably gonna do a couple videos for that later tonight. They're going to be up tonight and tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not going to get a cease and desist order or something from YouTube. I think I can upload them, whatever. But yeah, so if you're interested, come back to the channel, check those out. Sorry about that. Also, one other thing, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show. I know, like I said, I'm doing this one really kind of by the seat of my pants. Down in the description, there will be links to every video and article that I talk about, along with timestamped when I start talking about a certain issue or whatever. So there you go. Sorry about that. Let's get back in with the fun.
Telltale's Batman: The Enemy Within premieres this August. The billionaire or the bat? Which mask will you wear?
Oh my God, that is so freaking cool. I cannot wait for this second season of Batman. And Troy Baker is back. I am so stoked.
And it premieres in August, which is super close.
I have to know, what else have the fans been asking about our future?
Okay, I know this is the typical comment when it comes to Troy Baker. That dude's in fucking everything. What the hell, guys? Come on. Don't get me wrong, like Troy Baker's phenomenal at what he does, but let's give someone else. I'm not usually like a let's give someone else a chance kind of guy. You know, I kind of like stick with what works. But come on, isn't even a little too much? That's not that's a joke comment. Go Troy Baker. I'm glad you're getting work. You are damn good at what you do. That Nolan
future endeavors and what we're putting out here.
We finished up The Walking Dead: A New Frontier in spring, and we may or may not have had a couple tweets here and there asking about what Clementine's up to. And so we brought our dev team in to talk about what she's up to, where she's going, what her journey is, and what's up next for Telltale's The Walking Dead. So let's take a look at that.
We've been on this journey with Clementine since 2012. We had no idea that Clem was going to mean so much to players.
When we first started working on Walking Dead, we knew...
Okay, I'm gonna take a stab here. I know this kind of I'm kind of diverging off the trail, and again, I know I'm being very long-winded with these. But this is what I love about Telltale games. It's just these connection to these characters and kind of the psychology behind these characters. And I think why people love Clementine so much, and again, this is a total shot in the dark, and at least this is kind of what draws me to her. It is not necessarily her strengths as a character, because I find her voice a little annoying. And I've never considered her like a super strong character. I wasn't super drawn to her in the first game, but I actually kind of liked her in the second one, and I liked her even more in New Frontier. But I think something that kind of draws, and I'm going to be a little pretentious here, that kind of draws people to Clementine is this kind of, the world is falling apart, and we're seeing this little girl kind of grow up through it. You know, because all our other characters, Lee and all the side characters, all the characters that weren't Clementine in the second game, and who, you know, kind of still treated like a kid, but she had to grow up fast, kind of become an adult. And then we saw Javier and Clementine interact in the New Frontier, and I think we see this is something you also see from Carl in the AMC, The Walking Dead. It's just these kids kind of have to grow up so fast within this world that is completely fallen apart, and I think it's maybe it's like a paternal, like a familial kind of link, like you want to protect the kid, or you want to see it, or it's just such an interesting character arc that, you know, we see this from time to time. You watch post-apocalyptic movie, I think it's The Road. I think it's based off an Ayn Rand novel. A lot of people I know aren't super big fans of it. I think it's very interesting. It's a father and son just trying to make it in this post-apocalyptic world. Everything's very gray. It's very bleak. Really kind of a fucked up movie. But again, it's kind of the same thing. You're seeing this kid try and deal with and live in this world that isn't for him anymore. You know, it isn't our modern day. We kind of shelter kids. They have to grow up, and I think that's just it's such an interesting story and narrative for people to watch. And like I said, I got a little pretentious there.
It was a redemption story about the man named Lee, and Clementine was the lens that we see all of our actions. For this to really work, I think we needed a Clementine who was smart. We needed a character who was self-reliant. We needed a character who was there to help you and not be a hindrance.
It was kind of a risk putting a kid as a main character in a game. The fact that she was such a likable character, her heartbreaking relationship with Lee was...
Okay, I like her voice a lot more than I like Clementine's, or her natural voice, because Clementine is very breathy and very kind of like Bonnie from Family Guy. It's just that voice just really it's something about it that grades me. So when I say I don't like the voice, that's my complaint. I don't like the direction they went with the character. It's nothing against the voice actress.
Amazing.
She started out as a symbol of something to worry about, but she became a symbol of hope. She became something that represented what we all live for.
I always look at Clementine Season 2 as being defined by survivor's guilt.
Stuff has happened, time has gone by, and she's not as trusting immediately of people she meets, and they're not trusting of her.
The whole season of Season 2 was about kind of weighing the options of how do you define your own family.
One of the more defining characters that she meets in Season 2 is Carver. In Episode 3, you know, he's basically like, you're not like the rest of them. You're meant to lead, you're not meant to follow. You can make the hard decisions.
It is not difficult at all when things like the finale of Season 2 happen, where you have to make this horrible decision, to feel that. I really legitimately felt so horribly sad in that session. What a horrible, tragic ending. I was actually surprised at how many people in the end ended up going off on their own.
The Clementine you meet at the beginning of Season 3 is definitely shaped by the events of 2. She's had a really rough go of it. Those that do survive generally tend to be those that have withdrawn into themselves and found internal strengths to kind of deal with the horrors.
It all seemed to fit very well with where she's at in Season 3. There are times when I'm doing Clementine's voice in Season 3 where she is a bit lower than my voice. This area I have to speak in my throat, I can't really explain it.
Season 2 was all about her trying to make a go of it in new families and new communities, and how that really did not go well. Over the course of Season 3, she meets a family with which, by the end, it did work. And so she's, I think, rejuvenated.
In The New Frontier, Clem got to see something that she hadn't been exposed to in a long time. A functional family, a family that was still caring for each other throughout everything that they had gone through in the world of The Walking Dead so far. And she set out at the end of A New Frontier with one singular goal in mind, which was to find AJ and make that again for herself. Now, what she's gonna do when she finds him, that is the story of Season 4. That is the story of future Clem. Who she wants to be, who she wants to be with, and how she wants to be, those are decisions the player's gonna make.
It was hearing from the fans all the way through Season 1 and hearing that response, and that's what drove our decision to play as her in this 4th and final season. You will play as Clem. This will be Clem's story.
It's gonna be an amazing experience. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. It's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and so much love has been behind this whole experience. Good luck. I'll be right there with you.
I'm not really much else I have to say about this. I really think that they're hitting an emotional key with this, that I think is spot on for this, and is going to be a very good conclusion to Telltale's The Walking Dead. Which, you know, I'm gonna add something to my critique, or I mean, critique's not the right word, but to my commentary on Clementine, and that I think I really see something different in the character. Now that I've actually grown and matured, because I actually found her just as, you know, this just kind of interesting character, or whatever, side character. When I was a kid and played, well, I say kid, I mean, I was, 2012, I was 18, 19. How old was I? I was like 18. Yeah, I think it was like 18 back in 2012. 2013, whatever. It was 18, 19. And now I'm 23, and just experiencing more life and more this, that, the other thing, and it's kind of made me grow and see Clementine's story differently. It's the way I was even talking about it earlier. It's just I don't think I would have seen it that way back then, but I see it more this way now, and I think they made some very good points that I never thought of when it does come to Clementine. That she was kind of a symbol of hope, and the kind of lens that we saw it through in the first game. That's very interesting. You know, I'm probably gonna go back and play The Walking Dead season 1 and 2, and then redo New Frontier, but with the choices that I've made in 1 and 2. You know, I'm gonna play them all on PS4, chunk through them, do a second playthrough of New Frontier, and then I'm going to do season 4. I mean, that's kind of my plan right now, and I may or may not do that. Just, it all kind of comes down to what's going on around there, and if I also remember, I'll probably write it down somewhere. But the only reason I'm going to redo New Frontier is just because that way I can, because I can't, I don't remember it well enough to just completely recreate it, and I'll probably, you know, just. And then the choices I make in 2 might be different than how I had it set up when I played the New Frontier. So again, it's a sorry. This is me doing what I always do, and I'm talking through what I'm thinking. But yeah, I'm all 3 games that they talk about in this, I'm super excited for. It's just wow. Now on to, like I said earlier, the open
4th and
weeping.
final season.
That's
crazy.
That was insane. I mean, it's been quite a journey from the first season to the 4th season.
It has, and I'm so excited to play as Clementine again. She's such a badass.
So in 2017, we have Batman: The Enemy Within premiering, and then in 2018 we have Walking Dead premiering. Is there anything else that we are going to be premiering in 2018? Anything possibly comic book related?
You know,
anything the fans have been really requesting for, really want?
We get a handful of tweets.
We might actually have.
Stop hemming and hawing. Announce it. Stop being cute. You know we've wanted this for 3 goddamn years. Sorry.
Some special guests to talk about this.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's go take a look at that.
Yeah.
All right. Mean tweets, and if these are the meanest tweets, we're in good shape.
Oh, wow, we got so many, y'all.
God, I love his voice.
Where the is Wolf Among Us Season 2? I'm right there with you, buddy.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous now. We want a 2nd season of The Wolf Among Us already. It is ridiculous, I agree. You are correct.
In all caps, Season 2 Wolf Among Us, I want some damn answers.
It's rude.
At Senpai8, where is my boy, Big Bad Wolf? Wolf emoji, at Wolf Among Us 2. Senpai may have noticed me, but he did not notice spell check.
At DRiverO, I'm just gonna tweet y'all every day until we get The Wolf Among Us 2, I swear. Can we get someone to check if we actually did that?
DRiverO has been tweeting us every day. Let's see if that's gonna pay off.
Me, Telltale. When are we gonna get Season 2 of The Wolf Among Us? Telltale. Silence is a valid option.
No, it's not. Answer the damn question.
Okay, Mundies. You've been bugging me for 3 years. Where's season 2? Where's more Wolf Among Us? Well, it finally paid off. Congratulations. Season 2, 2018.
Ah, it finally happened. Finally. Oh, the answer to all my prayers. All right, no, I'm serious. I know I'm being very fake and overdramatic and all this bullshit, and there's a good reason for this because, like I said, I viewed this. I knew the Wolf Among Us season 2 got announced because honestly, I would probably be shouting into my microphone if I went into this cold. But holy shit, guys, I've been waiting for this game for so long. Wolf Among Us is absolutely, like I keep saying this, my favorite Telltale game, and I can't even actually explain why. I don't think it was the most emotional. I don't think it was, or what it was about it. But I love the character of Big B Wolf, who's this kind of rough and kind of this old noir gumshoe kind of guy. He's got, he has that special skill. He becomes the big bad wolf and all this. And if you read like all the little like Book of Fables things, you find out some really cool stuff because he's like the son of the North Wind or something like that. That's why he can huff and puff and all that. You know, he smokes huff and puff cigarettes. You know, it's just the small details in the world. And yes, I understand this is based on the comic book Fables, which I have not read. Which actually, I guess I should probably do it. But it's just, there's so much detail in it, and I love like kind of that noir, gritty New York setting that we get with Big B, and he's just this guy who how to put this? The thing I love about Big B is he's this guy who's, at least my interpretation of Big B, the way I like to play Big B, is he's this guy who did some really mean shit. He's really rough around the edges. He did some bad stuff back in the homeland, where the Fables all come from. But now he's trying to kind of make this. It's like a grim fairy tale. Like there's these two sides of it. You know, he's really kind of a misunderstood. He kind of wants to do good. He wants to make up for the bad stuff he's done. He's really not a bad guy. He's just got this rough exterior who won't let people in. You know, he's got this thing with Snow White that they keep kind of playing with. And I find him to just be such a fun character. Just so, the guy who voices him, I think, spot fucking on, man. It just, everything about it. I love Big B. I love the surrounding characters. I loved his whole thing with the Crooked Man in the first game. I thought the first game just had the twists and the turns and everything was so freaking on point. I just cannot wait. Just fucking, hey, let's finish this video up, man. On that music.
Well, I think one of the things that makes Wolf Among Us so special is the general atmosphere of the game really commits to the detective story that we're trying to tell.
Fables is fantastic. It's an award-winning series. This was our own take on Bill Willingham's world. This universe, this Fable town, this iteration, everything was just bathed in neon.
I feel like Big B is facing in this game a interesting challenge of like he's got this past that he can't control.
Being Snow, she's your right-hand man. So everything you do is going through the Snow filter.
The thing that you want to do is the thing that you shouldn't do. To me, that's like Wolf in a nutshell.
I think we put people in a place where they really could connect with Big B in that dilemma.
I think we're excited to get back into this world again. You know, a new story, a new mystery, an all new set of stakes.
To the fans of The Wolf Among Us, I can't thank you guys enough.
Thank you for your patience. You're getting Wolf Among Us Season 2.
Telltale fans, this is going to be for you guys. This is happening because of you.
I'm just really happy that we get to be able to do this.
Okay, see, this is very interesting. The fact that we really didn't get them talking about really what this season's about. Well, I mean, I'm kind of glad. I like how they're going to keep this one very kind of under wraps until we actually see The Wolf Among Us season 2, and I just, again, I cannot wait. And right there, I think they just were able to put into words what I was thinking of Big B Wolf better than I was able to actually explain it. I think, how long have I already been doing this video? About 20 minutes? Oh wow, we're at the half-hour point. We still have a lot of have a lot of stuff to do. I'm debating what the hell to do now, because I want to talk about the rest of the stuff, but I also don't want this show to go on for about an hour or so. You know what? I'm actually gonna leave this one here. I'm gonna upload this one now. Later today, I'm gonna get some coffee. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna do some other recording or something. Later today, more news will be up. But for now, I hope you enjoyed my commentary on the Telltale Summer 2017 game update, whatever you want to call this. I'm very excited for what Telltale's doing. Again, so many people want to bash Telltale, and I can't do it. I love Telltale. I love what they do. I love their concepts. I love their games. I love their characters. It's such a nice palate cleanser that I don't think. It's such a nice palate cleanser that I just don't think a lot of other games. It's hard to explain. It's so different from other games, and it's just that's I think what I love about it. It's just they're so different, and it kind of gives me this. I can kind of just sit back, talk, and bullshit. I do kind of agree with this one though. Where's season 2 of the Game of Thrones too? They have so many series that I want to see more to. Also, if you think that. I'm trying to think what game that is. That sniper game. Why can't I remember the name? Sniper Elite 3, something like that. If you thought that was one of the top games of 2017, really? Okay. So yeah, there we go. That was. I'm sorry. I'm rambly. Like I said, this was going to be a weird video from the start. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Like I said, come back later tonight. For the rest of the stuff I'm covering, new Shadow of War trailer, game that I know almost nothing about just because I could not care less. I could not care any less about this game, Kingdom Hearts 3. I am not a big Kingdom Hearts fan, but I'm going to be talking Kingdom Hearts. We got some Call of Duty WW2, some zombie information, Undertale, BioWare. All of these things I'm going to be talking about later today in like I said, my second news show. I'm not sure if I'm going to call this video or whatever, but I hope you enjoyed this. I'll stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links to all those are down in the description below. Remember to like, comment. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time. But until then, guys, I am AJ Gels. This is the Telltale Gaming Channel. I'm out.